Hello aspirants, welcome to Upsmart IS. Today we are going to start defense current affair. Before that I will introduce myself. My name is Ashwajit. I have given UPSC CSE interview and I am actively involved in teaching after that. So I teach other subjects for UPSC CSE and for CAPF I am going to teach the defense current affair to you. So without wasting time we will start our actual discussion. So in defense current affair, we are going to see all the topics through the different angles. So first, we are going to cover the first topic, that is the missiles. Okay, what are the missiles that are important for your CAPF assistant commander examination? So that we are going to see. So what are the missile systems are there? So basically all the missile system that we use at a global level. Okay, different countries have developed. And India use it. Also the missiles that we have developed indigenously. So all these missiles we are going to see in brief manner. Okay, we are not going to going deep, but we'll see what is required for from the examination perspective. Okay, so we'll start with the first defense missile, that is Akash NG. Akash NG means next generation missile system. Okay, who completed DRDO? Who had developed this? It is indigenously developed by the India, and for India, who developed the DRDO. Okay, and also with DRDO, Bharat Dynamics Limited. Okay, this particular PSU also involved in the development of Akash next generation missile system. Okay, so what the facts that you need to know? The range of this Akash next generation missile system is 30 km only. Then altitude. Okay, altitude means how far or to which height it can go, that is the 80 km. Okay, and most important fact, it can engage 10 targets simultaneously. So it can engage with the 10 missiles, 10 drones, okay, whatever it is. So that is the important fact. Also it has indigenous RF seeker. RF means radio frequency seeker. So kind of radio radar used for this particular Akash next generation missile, it is a RF seeker, means that is radio frequency seeker. Okay, so next our missile is Ananta Shastra. Okay, Ananta Shastra. What is Ananta Shastra? It is a quick reaction. Okay, it is a quick reaction surface to air missile. Okay, yes, A means surface to air, QR means quick reaction. Okay, so who developed? This is also again developed by the India. It is indigenously developed, and for India, who is involved? DRDO. Okay, Bharat Electronics Limited, again Bharat Dynamics Limited. Okay, these three companies together have developed this missile. So what the fact you need to know? That is the range of this particular missile is 30 km. Okay, then it is quick reaction air defense system. Okay, quick reaction means when it identifies that some object is coming towards it, so it reacts quickly. So that is why it is called quick reaction. Then it can intercept aircrafts, it can intercept helicopters, and it can intercept drones also. Okay, so it is a multi-use one of missile system. Okay, it is a part of the defense system. Okay, that is the important thing that you need to remember. Then next is a MPATGM. Okay, what is the MPATGM? Means it is a main portable anti-tank guided missile. So okay, what you need to remember? Main portable anti-tank guided missile. Okay, means you would have seen. ओके, वो कंधे पे ऐसे रख के फायर करते हैं ना, तो उसको बोलते हैं मेन पोर्टेबल. पोर्टेबल मीन्स दे कैन टेक one person can take it from one place to another place. Okay, and the one person can launch it. So that is the main portable anti-tank guided missile. Okay, so who developed it? It is developed by India only. Okay, it is indigenous system. Then what the facts? It's fire and forget. Okay, fire and forget means once you fire, forget it. It will go towards its target and it will attack there. Okay, so you don't need to observe that whether it is following its path or not. Okay, just give it its target and fire it. Okay, then it is shoulder fired. Yes, what is we usually see, they put on shoulder and they fire it. Okay, then it is anti-tank guided missile. So basically they use for the tanks, okay, to destroy the enemy tanks. Okay, and one more important thing they use it, heat warhead. What is heat warhead? Heat warhead means high explosive anti-tank. High explosive anti-tank warhead, where they use when the enemy tank, okay, suppose this is the enemy tank and this enemy tank is heavily armed. Okay, heavily armed means they use some distinct kind of material, okay, to avoid the to defend themselves from the missiles. Okay, so that time what is the problem? It will not the missiles will not penetrate inside. But when we use this heat warhead, okay, high explosive anti-tank warhead, then it can penetrate to the heavy heavy armors also. Okay, so that's why they use it. When it penetrates, it explodes. Okay, usually what they will use other missiles, anti-tank missile, they use the thermal melting. Okay, when they will strike on the tank, they will start thermally melting and then they will go inside. But what this heat warhead uses, it is explodes. Okay, when it penetrates, it explodes. Okay, so that's why it is one of the dangerous missile for the tanks. Okay, and that is indigenously developed by the India. Next important missile, that is the Nag MK2. Okay, who developed? It is again indigenously developed by the DRDO. Now what are the key facts? The range for the Nag MK2 missile is a 4 to 10 kilometer. Again, it is a fire and forget. Also, it has the heat warhead. Okay, basically this heat warhead, it is put they use for the ballistic missile, but also they use for this anti-tank missile. So this Nag MK2, it is also one of the anti-tank missile. Okay, and also it uses the heat warhead. Okay, then we'll see the next missiles that most of the people know this, but we are going to see the basic facts about this. Next is the Akash missile system. Okay, Akash missile system. Okay, it is indigenous name. Okay, Akash is a Indian name, so you can remember who will develop this. Obviously, India will develop it. Okay. Then what is the range for this? 4.5 to 25 kilometer. Then speed Mach 2.5 to 3.5. Mach 2.5 to 3.5 means it has the supersonic. Okay, most of the you people will be knowing this, the Mach calculations. Okay, basically this will be the calculations. Okay, so when the particular missile, aircraft, anything, whatever it is that flows into air, that takes the speed of 0 to 1 Mach. Okay, it is called subsonic. When it takes the speed of 1 to 5, okay, then it is called supersonic, and when it exceeds speed of the 5 Mach, means it is called hypersonic. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Then next is the Akash Prime. Okay, again the Akash missile system, it is a multi-target engagement. Multi-target engagement means let it come any aircraft, drone, okay, whatever it is, even there are multiple targets, it can precisely intercept it. Okay, then next Akash Prime. Okay, Akash Prime, it is also developed by the India. Then the range, okay, it is the some improvement over the Akash missile. Then why the range, you can see they have increased 25 to 30 kilometer. Then it is RF seeker, the radar that we use in the Akash Prime missile system. It is basically air defense system that goes from the surface to air. Okay, Akash, it is going towards the Akash. Okay, Akash will be at a height, so from surface it will go to air, so it is surface to air missile. Okay, so RF seeker means radio frequency seeker, the kind of radar it is a RF seeker. Okay, then again it is mostly used for the high altitude operation, where we conduct high altitude operations in Ladakh region, okay, in Himalaya region. So there they use this Akash Prime missile. Okay, next Astra MK2. Okay, who developed this? India, obviously. Then who will be there? DRDO and BDL, Bharat Dynamics Limited. Okay, the range for the Astra is the 150 to 180 kilometer. Okay, so currently they have planning for the 200 kilometer also. The speed it takes, that is the Mach 4.5, means supersonic speed it can take. Okay, next again Astra missile, it is again developed by the India and it is for the Air Force. Okay, Indian Air Force. So range for this, it is a 80 to 110 kilometer. Okay, and it has the capability, this BV RAM capability that developed for the Astra missile. Okay, Astra missile means now it is used, Astra missile, it is used by the Air Force. Means Air Force they will fly the planes. Okay, so usually they will attack from the plane. Means what is there? It is the air to surface missile. Okay, or air to air missile. Okay, Astra is a air to air missile mostly. Okay, so remember this thing. Then K4 missiles. Whenever you see this K name, so remember these are the nuclear capable missile. So one missile that we know, that is K4 missile. It is the indigenously developed. So what is the range? It is a 3,500 kilometer, and it is a nuclear capable missile. Okay, so nuclear capable missile it is, that is our K4 missile. Okay, next. Next is a LRASHM. Means what? It is a LR means long range. ASHM means anti-ship missile. Okay, LR means long range and anti-ship missile. Okay, anti-ship missile. Okay, remember. Then it is developed by the obviously India. Okay, then next, the range for this is the above 1500 kilometer speed. That is a Mach 10. So it is a Mach 10 means what? It is the hypersonic missile. Okay, remember this long range anti-ship missile is a hypersonic missile that we have. Then next, Bhargavastra. Bhargavastra, what is this Bhargavastra? It is a basically counter drone system. Okay, so whatever drones coming from the enemy territory, okay, from the territory that not belongs to us, okay, mostly the this organized crime cartels, okay, they will use the drones to supply the drugs. Okay, many times you would have seen during the Operation Sindoor time also, Pakistan attacked through the drones. So that you can understand the importance of having anti-drone system. Okay, for that we have developed the Bhargavastra. Okay, so what is the range? It is range is 2.5 kilometer. Okay, usually they don't we no need to have the very large range for the this anti-drone system. Okay, 2.5 kilometer is sufficient for this. For above that we develop the missile for that. Okay, then BrahMos, one of the famous missile of India, who developed? India and Russia. Now how the name BrahMos come, everybody knows. Okay, BrahMos came from Brahmaputra, Mos came from the Moscow of the Russian river. Okay, so they took the name of these two rivers and they named it as BrahMos missile. Okay, now the range for this is the 450 to 500 kilometer speed. That is the Mach 3 speed that BrahMos missile has, and it means it is a supersonic. Okay, next facts that about the actually it is not given here. I will tell you some important facts. That is, it is a cruise missile. Okay, cruise missile means what? It is a it travels within the atmosphere. Okay, so that is the basic difference between the ballistic missile and cruise missile. Okay, so suppose this is the Earth. Okay, so and this is the atmosphere of the Earth. Okay, this is atmosphere, the boundary of atmosphere. Now suppose here we are India, it is, so we have to target this enemy location. Okay, if we are using the cruise missile, what will do? What this cruise missile will go? This will go through this atmosphere and strike here. But if we are using the ballistic missile, what ballistic missile will go do? It will go outside the atmosphere and it will come back inside the atmosphere and strike here. Okay, now you can understand the what is the basic difference. So for the ballistic missile, you no need to have the vehicle. Okay, for the initial boost you need to have the vehicle, but for the cruise missile we need to have the vehicle for the throughout their entire journey. Okay, and when it comes to this two missile, okay, you can understand why the interception is there is difference when it comes to identification and intercepting. Okay, this cruise missile, suppose this is surface, okay, and this is the atmospheric limit. Now the cruise missile, it is coming within the atmosphere. Okay, we have radar here, so our range of radar is this one. Okay, now the cruise missile is coming here, it intercepts here. Okay, it intercepts here. Actually it is very difficult to intercept, but once we intercept, we'll get time to strike on it. So when once we identify cruise missile, it is very easy to intercept it. Okay, but it not happens with the ballistic missile. Okay, suppose ballistic missile, it went from here and is coming like this. Okay, it is very easy to identify ballistic missile because it will be coming from the upper that from the high altitude, okay, from the upper atmosphere, and when we detect here, but once detection is very easy, but striking is or intercepting is not easy because it has the huge speed. Okay, mostly it will be having supersonic or hypersonic speed, so intercepting is not that easy. Even we discovered, okay, or detected here, it will have so much speed. Before we strike on that or before we launch attack against it, it will come and destroy your radar and the other system. Okay, so that is the difference between hypersonic missile and cruise missile, sorry, ballistic missile and cruise missile. Next is the Project Vishnu. Okay, Project Vishnu. So what is the Project Vishnu? It has the range of 1500 kilometer. The speed that it has, it is a Mach 8, and what it uses, scramjet powered. Scramjet power means initial boost, it need the scramjet. Okay, the vehicle that they use it is a scramjet. Okay, basically they call it rocket. Okay, then Dhwani, what is it? Is high glide vehicle. Okay, high glide vehicle means it is basically warhead. Okay, basically this Dhwani, it is nothing but it is a warhead. So it is basically put in front of the ballistic missile. Okay, so it is a glide vehicle they call it, and it is a kind of warhead. Okay, then it is developed by the India. The range for this, it is a 6,000 to 10,000 kilometer. Usually the range of the ballistic missile, it is given to this particular glide vehicle. Okay, then speed, that is the, you can see it is a hypersonic speed that it has. Then Star missile. So Star missile, it is also developed by the India. So the speed for this, it is the 55 to 175 kilometer. The speed, that is 1.8 to 2.5. Okay, that is the supersonic speed it has. Then some global missile that we'll see now. First is the Javelin. Okay, Javelin anti-tank guided missile. Okay, Javelin anti-tank guided missile. So who developed this is USA and NATO armies. Okay, they particularly use this missile. So what is the range here? It is 2.5 kilometer. You no need to know more facts about it. It is just fire and forget. Okay, it is anti-tank guided missile. That is the sufficient to know, and it is not used by India. It is mostly used by the USA and NATO armies. Okay, then Tomahawk missile. Okay, it is used by the USA and the UK. Okay, again the range 2500 kilometer. Okay, it is a particular ballistic missile. Then speed is the 885 kilometer. 885 kilometer means it is the subsonic speed it has. Okay, next ATACMS. Okay, the long form is very difficult to remember for the year, so remember ATACMS. Basically it is developed by the USA, and who use Bahrain, Greece, South Korea, Taiwan, UAE. These are the ally countries of USA. Okay, these people use this missile. Then next, range for this 305 kilometer, and what is this? It is a ballistic missile. Next thing is a Minuteman. Okay, Minuteman 3. It is again developed by the USA. The range for this, it is a 13,000 kilometer, and max speed, it is a hypersonic. Okay, so it is considered the most advanced, okay, US missile. Okay, not world's missile. The most advanced world's missile belongs to the Russia. Let me know in comment section what is the name of that missile. Okay, next missile that we need to M120C 8 AM RAM. Okay, so again this is used by the USA and NATO members. Okay, so range, all these things, that is not very important for the global missile. We need to remember what is the this other details like the range. Okay, the nature of missile. Okay, what are the other facts that we need to remember for only indigenous missiles. Okay, so these are the missile you just need to know who developed it and kind of some facts, if it is a hypersonic, okay, subsonic, this kind of facts. Then this one, Next is a ERAM. This again developed by the USA, and they are planning to give it for the Ukraine. So that's why it is in news. So next range for this is 240 to 450 kilometer. Then RS-25ARs. Okay, it is developed by the Russia. Okay, then range for is 10,500 kilometer, and it is a multiple MIRV capable intercontinental ballistic missile. So the MIRV capable means it can take the multiple warheads. Okay, so visually you would have seen. Now suppose this is the missile. Okay, so it looks like it is coming with one warhead, but if it has MIRV capacity, then it will separate into different warheads. Okay, so multiple warheads it will separate and it will strike. Okay, different war it will separate into, so multiple warhead it will be carrying if it has MIRV capability. Okay, so this is the fact here. Then next, Bulava missile. Okay, Bulava missile developed by the Russia. So don't confuse, it is word लगता है कि हिंदी वर्ड है बुलावा, लेकिन नहीं है, ये belongs to Russia. Bulava missile. Okay, then range 8,300 kilometer. Also it has a MIRV capability. Okay, intercontinental ballistic missile it is. Then Zircon missile. Zircon also it belongs to the Russia. The range that is 400 to 1,000, and speed is a supersonic speed. Okay, next, sorry, hypersonic speed it has. Next is a Oreshnik missile, who developed Russia and the Belarus. Okay, Russia and Belarus, they are the good friends, so they have developed this together. It is intercontinental ballistic missile with what is that, hypersonic speed. Okay, next, next is a Burevestnik missile. So who developed, again the Russia. So this kind of name if coming, you can remember this belongs to the mostly Russia. Okay, then Invar missile. Okay, so this is the tank fired anti-tank guided missile. Okay, so it is not main portable. Okay, it is a tank fired anti-tank guided missile, and India is planning to acquire this missile. Okay, then PL-15 missiles. Okay, PL-15 missile, it is developed by the China. Okay, mostly Pakistan used this during the Operation Sindhu time, so that's why it is in news. So what was the range of this? It 200 kilometer was the range for this. Okay, so Pakistan also used, but developed by the China. Then Fateh 4 missiles, it is the Pakistani missile. Okay, Fateh 4 missiles. So when they attacked the Afghanistan and they targeted some Iranian, they allegedly that some anti-nationals were hiding there, so they used this particular missile, Fateh missile. So, and also during the Operation Sindhu time they used this one. Okay, then Taimur missile, then again it is developed by Pakistan. Okay, so they lost him. Then Hinmo missile. So Hinmo missile, who developed? It is developed by the South Korea. Then RBS-15 missile, who developed? Sweden and European navies. Then Meteor missile, it is also developed by the Europe consortium. Okay, so these are the not very important, but just for the sake of you have studied, I have given this missile. So just see what are the missile and they belongs to which country. Okay. Then another one important missile, it is a Storm Shadow. Okay, so this is very important missile because many people says along with BrahMos we use this missile. Okay, Storm Shadow, to strike into POK. Okay, during Operation Sindhu time, and it is a very stealth precision strike. Okay, it is known for this precise striking. Okay, you would have seen the videos coming out. Okay, there was so crowded area, still we managed to do precision attack because we used BrahMos as well as the Scalp missile or the Storm Shadow missile. Okay, so this is the one important thing. But what is this? It is not our indigenous. It is developed by the UK and France, and we use it. Okay, we have imported from them. Okay, so this is about the global missile that you should be knowing. Then next is a rocket artillery or launchers. Okay, so basically I have given in summary here. So what is the important that we need to know, that we'll see. Okay, first is the Pinaka rocket system. Okay, we used during the Kargil war also. Okay, we developed this, India developed this. For India it is developed by the DRDO, and whom we are supplying it is to the Armenia. Okay, we are supplying it to the Armenia. Then what is the range of this Pinaka missile? That is the 60 to 75 kilometer. Then there is again different based on the variation. Okay, so it is Navik linked. Navik is our regional satellite consortium. Okay, mostly we use for the defense purpose as well as the civilian purpose. Okay, so this Pinaka missile, it is linked to the Navik link, and it is a multi-barrel rocket launcher. Multi-barrel rocket launcher means you would have seen there would be some vehicle. Okay, and this vehicle will be having some kind of some barrel. Okay, so this barrel will having the multiple missiles. Okay, you would have seen it goes like this. Okay, they launch multiple missile from the same barrel, so that is called as multi-barrel rocket launcher. Pinaka, what is Pinaka? It is multi-barrel rocket launcher. Okay, so this kind of setup it will be having. Okay, next again Pinaka, this is the Pinaka type, that is a long range. Okay, long range missile. Okay, so it is just we have tested. Okay, flight test, maiden flight tested by the DRDO. So we are developing this for ourselves, and what will be range for this? It is the 120 kilometer. Then it will be precision guided long range missile. Okay, it is a long range missile. Okay, basically when it comes to Pinaka rocket system, it is the short range. Okay, but Pinaka long range. Okay, LRGR if it's there, it is a long range guided rocket. Okay, long range guided rocket. So this is the thing you need to remember. LR means long range. Okay, then next Suryastra rocket system. It is emergency procurement by the Indian Army. They are procured from the NIB Limited. It is Israel's collaboration. Okay, it is Israel company. We have purchased this Suryastra rocket system from the Israel. Okay, we named it Suryastra. Okay, then what is the range for this? 150 to 300 kilometer. It is multi-caliber launcher. Same, just what I have shown, multi-caliber launchers. Then it is known for its precision strike. Okay, so this is the few important facts you need to know about the Surya rocket system. Then Eraser. Okay, so we have conducted trial from INS Kavaratti. Okay, it is basically conducted trial from INS Kavaratti, means it is submarine based. Okay, submarine based rocket launcher. Okay, so it is a anti-submarine. Okay, anti-submarine rocket launcher, but it is also submarine based. Okay, submarine based rocket launcher. We release it from the submarine to destroy the enemy submarines. Okay, the next HIMARS. Okay, next is a HIMARS. It is a live firing by the Taiwan. Okay, so who developed this is United States, and who use it? Taiwan, Ukraine, along with the United States. Okay, then it carries 6 rockets. Okay, this is not very important. Just remember this HIMARS developed by the USA and the Taiwan use it. Okay, next this one, Excalibur projectile. Okay, this is US approved sale to India, means we are planning to acquire this Excalibur projectile. Okay, so this is developed by the United States, and we are planning to use it with M777 howitzer. Okay, howitzer you would have seen. Okay, usually there will be a small vehicle. Okay, bullock cart type of, and then it will be has a long this thing. Mostly whenever hear the news of shelling, okay, shelling happening on the border region, so they use this howitzer. Okay, you can search it, you will get to know what is the howitzer. Okay, so what is Excalibur projectile? It is a GPS guided. Okay, GPS guided precision artillery shell. So this howitzer we mostly use for the shelling to attack multiple times. So what is the accuracy? It has the high accuracy, that is within 2 meters. Okay, once we fired it, it has a high accuracy. It will not deviate much. It can even it is missed, it will be in the range of 2 meter. Okay, so that's why it is very important for us. Then CQB carbines. Okay, so it is procurement for the army as well as for the navy. So who developed this? Developed by the DRDO and produced by the Bharat Forge. Okay, Bharat Forge. So it is a public private collaboration. Okay, so it is a close combat carbine. Okay, so this is the important thing. Then next we are going to see the air defense and early warning systems. Okay, so air defense and early warning system that are very important from the perspective of the CAPF examination. So we are not going too deep, but we'll just see the what the facts that we should know from the exam perspective. Okay, first is Akash Tir. Okay, Akash Tir air defense system. Okay, why it is important? Because it is played a very significant role during the Operation Sindoor last year. Okay, it is developed by the BEL and particularly used by the India. Okay, so what is this? It is a air defense command reporting system. Okay, it integrates sensor, radar and the weapon system. Okay, why the sensor? Sensor and radars, they detect the enemy attack. Okay, if missile is coming towards the Indian territory, then it detect it. At the same time, the weapons integrated with this Akash Tir, they strike back. Okay, or they intercept it. Okay, so that's why the Akash Tir we use. Then Ashwini radar. So this is the radar that is developed by the DRDO and the BEL. Okay, it is a 4D AESA radar. Okay, AESA radar. Why it is AESA called? Because it is used for the low altitude detection. Okay, also it is detect the slow moving high speed aerial threats. Okay, even the threat is coming, the any enemy what do we call it, aerial threat. Okay, let it be missile, drone, anything that is, even it coming from with the slow speed or let it come into high speed, this Ashwini radar able to detect it. Okay, next mission Sudarshan Chakra. After Operation Sindoor, the Prime Minister approved this mission Sudarshan Chakra. Means by 2035 we'll be having the air defense system. Okay, air defense system measure the metropolis, major economical centers. Okay, also the pilgrimage centers. Okay, that will be covered under the Sudarshan Chakra. It is basically nationwide defense system that India is going to develop with the target of fully integration till 2035. Okay, it is nationwide multi-year air defense system. Completion target is 2035. Okay, then Project Kusha. It is also air defense system, Project Kusha. So who use it? Indian Air Force. Okay, this is used by the Air Force. What is range? 150 km, 250, 350 depending on the need. Okay, future we are trying to like extend its limit to the 600 km also. Okay, then next integrated air defense weapon system flight test. Okay, we conducted the flight test of integrated air defense weapon system. Who developed? Again DRDO developed this. And what is the why key fact that we need to know? It is a network centric air defense system. Okay, means what? It integrate quick reaction, surface to air missile. Okay, also very short range this very short range missiles. Okay, as well as the this DEW system, means mostly we use electromagnetic waves. Okay, electromagnetic waves, as well as we integrate quick reaction surface to air missile and very short range missile defense system. So we integrate these networks under this integrated air defense system. Okay, so this is all we need to know. So basically when it comes to the quick reaction surface to air missile, it will intercept. Okay, if the target is highly volatile, then these electromagnetic waves will come into play. Okay, so this is the entire network that we have developed under this integrated air defense weapon system. Then S-400 Trump system. Okay, who developed? Russia. And who use it? Russia use it. Along with Russia, China, India and Turkey. Okay, and these are the countries use it. Okay, the range S-400 stands for the range, that is 400 kilometer. Okay, so it has capability to track 100 targets. Okay, 100 targets simultaneously it can track and engage the 6 targets simultaneously. Okay, and even it can engage with the different kinds of target. Okay, even the missile, okay, drones, they are coming together. The S-400 has the capability to engage with them. Next is the S-500. So it is the advanced Russian system. Okay, it is developed by the Russia for itself. Okay, so it is a ballistic interception capacity. So capacity is 600 kilometer here. So when it in airborne target, when it is a ballistic when it comes to ballistic missile, it can intercept it from the distance of 600 kilometer. When it is airborne target, it can intercept it from the distance of 400 kilometer, and also it can counter the hypersonic threat. Okay, so it is a very advanced air defense system that is developed by the Russia. So it is not given to anybody yet. Then next, our system is the suction system. Okay, suction, that is the nothing but kind of Atmanirbhar, self-reliant. Okay, so that's why it is Indian name given. It is developed indigenously. So it is basically counter UAS grid system. Okay, if multiple drones are coming together, which works together, so to counter this, detect and track the hostile drones, okay, or UAVs. So we use the suction system. Okay, it is basically anti-drone system, defense system. Then Golden Dome. So Golden Dome, it is proposed by the Trump. Okay, US might develop. It is inspired from the Iron Dome of Israel. Then Barak Magan naval air defense system. Israel has developed this one, Barak Magan. Okay, now you would seen the from last 1.5 years there was war between Iran and Israel. So Iran was launching multiple ballistic missiles, but Israel was successfully able to defend its territory because of this missile Iron Dome. Then they have the David's sling, okay, and the Barak Magan naval defense system. Okay, so that's why they were successful. Next is the NASAMS. Okay, so the sail approved for the Taiwan. It is basically developed by the USA. Okay, so the US allies, Norway, Spain, Taiwan, they use it. Okay, so it's not very important. Just you need to remember these are not belongs to India, and India is not planning to acquire them. Okay, so that is the enough. Next we will see some other systems. So it is a glide phase interceptor. Okay, GPI program, glide phase interceptor. It is again the collaboration between the US and Japan. So what is for that? It intercept hypersonic glide vehicle. Okay, hypersonic glide vehicles during the glide phase. Okay, glide is basically warhead. Okay, it comes down heavily. Okay, so you would have seen when USA was attacking the Iran's nuclear sites. Okay, Iran's nuclear sites are established deep in the ground. Okay, so to attack that, they use these glide vehicles. Okay, so this is basically warheads in front of hypersonic or supersonic missiles, and when you launch it, it goes with a higher speed. Okay, then Pechora missile system. It is upgraded under the Mission Sudarshan Chakra. Pechora, it is our system. Okay, means it is developed by the USA, Soviet Union, but India, we use it. We acquired from the Soviet Union that time, and we are upgrading it under the Sudarshan Chakra. Okay, so speed is range is 35 kilometers speed. That is the supersonic speed we'll have, and intercept the lower to medium target. So what you need to remember, it intercept lower to medium altitude targets. Okay, then next, X-Guard fiber optical towed decoy. Okay, FOTD. Okay, so that is used during the Operation Sindoor time. Okay, who developed this? It is developed by the Israel. Okay, we acquired from the Israel. So and we use during the Operation Sindoor time. Okay, so this remember, it is aircraft decoy system. Okay, so what it does, it works with electronic warfare suits. Okay, at a subsonic and the supersonic speed. Okay, so it works with the electronic warfare suits. Okay, so this is the important fact. Then again this INS Kanderi, INS Karanj, INS Vela, INS Wagir and Project 75 submarines. Okay, we are going to see this in a separate way. Just I gave because it is a conventional submarine commissioned under the Project 75. Okay, we'll see when we'll discuss them, when we'll discuss the other ships, missile. Okay, ships, submarines, everything. Okay, naval related things. Next is a important, that is the National Defense Exercise Summary. Okay, so what are the national defense exercise that we have conducted and what was the purpose? Okay, we are going to see it shortly. So Bharat NCX, so basically it is cyber security exercise that is conducted by Cyber Security Council Secretariat and Rashtriya Raksha University. What is the Rashtriya Raksha University? As you are preparing for the assistant commandant under CAPF, so you need to obtain some degree from the Rashtriya Raksha University. So it is aligned with the CAPF also. So you need to know about that particular university. Then it is a premium cyber security exercise. Okay, what was the theme for 2025? It was enhancing the operational preparedness of Indian cyberspace. So just remember this thing, that is sufficient. Then next, civil defense exercise, that is Operation Abhyasa. Okay, Operation Abhyasa was the civil defense exercise. Who conducted? It is conducted by Home Affairs Ministry. Then what is it was the mandate, that is preparedness exercise across 244 civil defense districts during Operation Sindoor. Okay, what are the districts that were bordered the Pakistan? So 244 districts. So there they have done this exercise. Okay, the next exercise Achuk Prahar. Achuk Prahar means precise target. Precise target. Achuk Prahar. Achuk means precision. Okay, so it is conducted by Indian Army and ITBP. Okay, then what it is conducted, where it is conducted? It is conducted in Arunachal Pradesh. So what was the motto of this? To check the operational preparedness. Next is the exercise Samanvay Shakti. Samanvay means coordination. Okay, so Samanvay between whom? Military and civil. Okay, who conducted? It is conducted by Indian Army and Assam, Manipur state officials. Okay, so it is basically army and civilian exercise. Okay, so it is focused on synergy between security forces and civil institutions. So okay, so Samanvay means this coordination. Then exercise Arogya Setu. Arogya Setu, it is a medical operation. Who conducted? Conducted by the Indian Army. Where it conducted? It is in Assam. Okay, it is the first civil military cooperation exercise. Okay, civil military military medical cooperation exercise. What was the first civil military cooperation military exercise? Then exercise Arogya Setu. And who conducted? Indian Army. So these are the important thing. Then next is the Yuddha Kaushal. Yuddha Kaushal 3.0. So Yuddha Kaushal, what is the Yuddha Kaushal 3.0? It is high altitude army exercise. Yuddha Kaushal 3.0. Kaushal, where we need to show the Kaushal. Okay, Kaushal means our skill when we work in the extreme environment. Altitude one is the one of the extreme environment, and there we need to show the our skill. So that's why we conducted Yuddha Kaushal. Okay, and who where it is conducted? Kameng region, where it is located, Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and there was debut of Ashni platoon. Let me know in comment section what is this Ashni platoon. Okay, next Samudra Pradakshina. Samudra Pradakshina. What is the Pradakshina? It is the going around. Okay, going around. Usually मंदिर में जाते हैं तो प्रदक्षिणा डालते हैं ना, तो nothing but समुद्र प्रदक्षिणा means ये पूरे धरती के चक्कर लगाना. Okay, so it is a tri-service sailing expedition. Okay, so Indian Armed Forces, Air Force, Navy and the Army, they conducted this expedition. That was the all-woman tri-service circumnavigation expedition. Okay, which vehicle they or the ship they use? That is the ISV Triveni. Okay, Triveni, remember, to for the this Samudra Pradakshina they use the Triveni, this Air Force ship. Okay, then next is Siyom Prahar exercise Siyom Prahar. Okay, it is a tactical exercise conducted by the Indian Army. It is also held in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so what is focused? They focused on the drone integration into warfare. Okay, the next exercise Amog Fury. Okay, Amog Fury. What is exercise? Exercise Amog Fury. Okay, it is conducted by Saptashakti Command. Saptashakti Command by of the Indian Army. Now let me know in comment section where the Saptashakti Command is located. Okay, this is the very important thing. Okay, so this is what you need to cover the current affair. It's not like what I give or what you find in the other sources. Just need to be curious. Okay, now I have told you Saptashakti Command. Okay, you need to see the where it is located. Then it is held in Arunachal Pradesh. Now you would have got the idea. Okay, then next Jal Prahar 2025. So who conducted Jal Prahar? Naval and Army. So Jal means obviously Navy will come there. So it is collaboration, joint exercise between Naval and Army. So it is a biennial. Okay, they conduct twice in a year, and where this time they conducted in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam and Kakinada. Okay, the next cold start exercise. Cold start exercise. What is cold start exercise? It is a tri-service exercise. Cold start, it is a tri-service exercise. Okay, so where it is held? It is held in Madhya Pradesh. It was the largest drill operation. Okay, conducted by all the three services after the Operation Sindoor. Okay, next is the Lokayan. Okay, Lokayan. It is the naval expedition. Where it conducted? Obviously Navy. So where it is conducted? Transoceanic expedition. From where? From Kochi to 18 ports across the 13 countries. It is not a global expedition. Okay, it is a transoceanic. It is launched from the Kochi. Okay, Kochi coast. Then it is visited 80 ports into 13 countries. Now we don't go and see the which were the 13 countries and 18 ports. Okay, it has a very poor cost benefit. Okay, so don't do this. Then next is a drone Kavach. Okay, joint tactical exercise. Who conducted? Indian Army. Okay, Indian Army's Spear Corps. So if you have written the UPSC CSE, they ask about the corps. Okay, corps, and along with them it is conducted by ITBP. So where it is conducted? Arunachal Pradesh, Eastern Command. Okay, so it is based on the checking the capability of drones. Okay, so this is all the important national exercise that were in news, and you need to remember from the exam perspective. Now next we'll briefly see some few remained here. So this is exercise Trishul Mahagurjar. Trishul Mahagurjar. So who did this? Three forces. Okay, Trishul has the, we have seen Trishul na, it has the this, इसको ऐसे तीन ये होते हैं ना. So Trishul nothing but represents one army, one navy and one air force. Okay, where it is conducted? It is conducted in Gujarat and Rajasthan border. Okay, so it is also included Agni Drishti and the Trinetra sub exercise. So sub exercise under the operation exercise Trishul was the Agni Drishti and the Trinetra. Okay, see these were the sub exercise. Then next exercise Sagar Kavach. It is a coastal security exercise. Who is responsible for the coastal security? That is the Indian Coast Guards. So we will conduct obviously Indian Coast Guard, but they need to take help of the Navy because Navy is also responsible to guard the international border. So Navy is also involved. Marine Police, they are responsible for the patrolling. Okay, so these people are conducted it together. Okay, and it is it is a biennial. Okay, means conducted twice in a year. Then next exercise Purvi Prachand Prahar. Purvi Prachand Prahar. Purvi means what? Now the east. Prachand Prahar. So if you have to do Prachand Prahar, मतलब क्या होता है? खूब जोर से और खूब ज़्यादा बड़ा प्रहार. सो ज़्यादा बड़ा और खूब जोर से प्रहार करना है तो क्या होगा? आपको तीनों सर्विस को साथ में लेके आएंगे. अगर तीनों सर्विस साथ में आएंगे तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी प्रचंड प्रहार. and they have Purvi they have mentioned means where it would have held Mechuka in the Arunachal Pradesh. Purvi, why they mentioned Purvi? Because they conducted in the eastern part of India. Then next, Sanja Shakti. Okay, it is military civil fusion. Sanja Shakti, again it is a kind of coordination. So who involved in Indian Army with civilian agency, mostly the civilian police force involved in this, where it is conducted 2026 edition in Pune. They have conducted Sanja Shakti, where it conducted in 2026 is conducted in Pune. And what was the Sanja Shakti? It is the coordination exercise between the military and the civilian forces. Then Sagar Maitri 5, it is oceanographic exercise. It is conducted by Indian Navy and DRDO. What they focused? Oceanographic cooperation, research and training. So basically the geographical exercise under the ocean. So for the research and training purpose, they conducted by the Indian Navy and the DRDO. So these are the remaining important exercise. Okay. So after this, what remains? It is some international defense exercise where India was involved, and some also which India was not involved. That also I have brought it here. So we'll see in details where the India involved, and we'll just see who involves. If it's India is not involved, then which country associated with that particular exercise. Okay. First is the exercise Surya Kiran. It is India and Nepal. Okay. So remember Surya Kiran. It is India and Nepal. Okay. So 19th edition in 2025, latest one. It is conducted at Pitrogar in the Uttarakhand, and it is an annual exercise. Okay. Every year it happens. Next is the exercise Nomadic Elephant, where it is conducted India and Mongolia. So now nomadic, if you see the map of the Mongolia, if you see the leave the capital of the Mongolia, you will find the entire area is empty. So there are the many nomadic tribes will be traveling here and there. So that's why they would have given the name of nomadic elephants. Okay, elephants are mostly found in Mongolia. So where it is happened, this is also annual, and this latest 17th edition happened in the Ulaanbaatar. Okay, Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia. There it is happened. And then PASEX is naval exercise. So it happens between India and friendly navies. Okay, recently it happened between India and United Kingdom. So it is conducted to meet navies at a sea, and they do some interoperability drills here. Okay, so this is the PASEX exercise. Then exercise Kokon, with whom we conducted UK. You can remember K for Kokon. Okay, it is again annual exercise, and 25 it is conducted on the western coast. Okay, Kokon, where it is located, western coast. So obviously they will conduct western coast. Okay, then Ajaya Warrior means unbeaten. Okay, unbeaten soldier. So it is conducted between India and UK. Okay, you can remember British were unbeaten during our freedom struggle. Okay, mostly until the 47. So that is Ajay Warrior associated with United Kingdom. So it is biennial. Okay, twice in a year. Once in 2 years it is conducted. Then 8th edition, latest edition, it has happened in Rajasthan. Okay. Next, GMEX or JMEX. Okay, they have taken J from the this one Japan, I from the India. Okay, JMEX. So it is also twice in a year. Okay, it is sea harbor phases happen. INS Sayadri participate in the GMEX. Okay, GMEX is a naval exercise. Next is the Dharma Guardian. Okay, Dharma Guardian, where it is Dharma Guardian. It is the army, and it is also happened between India and Japan. Okay, it is a very old exercise. Okay, it is annual exercise that happens between India and Japan. Latest happened in the Japan. Okay, it is not happened. Dharma, how we will remember Dharma Guardian? Most of the time, Japan's it won't criticize India. It takes the side of the India and it fulfills its dharma. Okay, dharma. Which dharma? Maitri dharma. So from that you can remember. Next is the Jamata. Okay, Jamata. It is a also happens between the Indian and Japanese coast guards. Okay, Japanese. Okay, Japanese Mata. So you can remember this thing. Then second edition happened in Chennai here in India. Then OSH Australia and India. It is a naval exercise that we need to remember. Then again, remembering country is not difficult here. Also, it happens in once in 2 years, and latest one 25 happened in Northern Pacific Ocean. Okay, not happened in India. Then Austra-Hind. Again, Austra you can remember it is belongs to the Australia, but what you need to remember, it is the exercise between the armies of Australia and the India. Okay, when it comes to the Ausindex, it is the naval exercise. Austra-Hind, it is a army exercise. Okay, then it is also annual. So latest one held in the Perth, that is in Australia. So both are the exercise not happened in India this year. Between India and Australia, they happened in the Australia only. Then Inrokan. Okay, Inrokan exercise, it is a naval exercise between India and South Korea. Okay, Inrokan exercise. It was the first edition, and it has happened in the South Korea. When it started in 2025. So first edition happened in the South Korea. Next, Exercise Shakti. Exercise Shakti, it is army exercise between India and the France. Okay, France is given as Shakti now. Why Shakti? How it is given Shakti? It is given as Rafale. Okay, so it is given as Shakti. So remember this thing. Then this biennial, means happens once in 2 years. So latest 8th edition in 25 that happened. It is happened in La Caulerie in France. Okay, I can't pronounce it. I don't know French, so manage it. It is happened in France. The next, Garuda. Okay, Garuda exercise, Garuda Air Force. It happens between India and France. Okay, Garuda. Now compare Rafale with Garuda. Okay, Rafale came to India as a Garuda. It gave us Shakti. Okay, so now you can cover this both exercise, Garuda and the Shakti, that's between India and France. So now latest 8th edition, it is also happened in the France. So both editions, that are naval edition and Air Force edition, that happened in the France. Now Garuda, it flies in the sky, so you can remember it is belongs to Air Force. Okay, so there is no naval exercise between India and Japan as of now. Okay, so the Indian Naval Symposium is there. Okay, it usually happens with the like-minded navies, so that's why they might have not started naval exercise. Then next is a Bold Kurukshetra. Bold Kurukshetra, it is exercise of army, and with whom happened, it is a India and Singapore. Okay, Bold Kurukshetra. Remember, Bold Kurukshetra is a Indian Singapore bilateral exercise. It happens annually, and latest 40th edition 25, it is happened in Jodhpur. Okay, next, Simbex. What is Simbex? It is a naval exercise. It happens between the India and Singapore. Now India, Sim comes from the Singapore, and Bex came from the Bharat. Simbex. Okay, so it is also annual exercise. 22nd edition happened in Singapore. Okay, when it comes to our Kurukshetra, it has happened in India, and naval exercise between India and Singapore, it has happened in Singapore. Okay, next, exercise Maitri. Maitri is between India and Thailand. Okay, just remember, don't confuse with Mitra Shakti. Okay, that we'll see next. Mitra Shakti, it is happened between, we'll see, it is Sri Lanka, India and Sri Lanka, but we have also exercise Maitri with Thailand. So it is annual exercise 14th edition, where it is happened in Meghalaya. Then next, Wimbex, it is between India and Vietnam. Okay, V stands for the Vietnam, so no, you will not get confused here. Latest edition 25, it is Hanoi in Vietnam. It has happened. Next is the Samudra Shakti, that is naval exercise, happens with the India and Indonesia. Okay, now you will see Shakti. Okay, don't get confused. So remember Shakti that France gave us. Okay, Garuda Shakti. Okay, that belongs to the France. When it comes to Samudra Shakti, it is the India and Indonesia. So latest 5th edition is happened in Visakhapatnam. Next is a Garuda Shakti. Now Garuda exercise, Garuda is the air exercise between India and France, but Garuda Shakti, it is a exercise between India and Indonesia, and it is the army. Okay, Garuda Shakti is different, and only Garuda is different. Okay, and Shakti and Garuda, these are the different that happens between India and France. don't get confused here. Okay, I will not confuse, I will not mention it again and again. So just see the pattern here. So latest 10th edition, it is happened in Himachal Pradesh, Garuda Shakti. Next, Harimau Shakti. It is a army exercise between India and Malaysia. So 5th latest edition happened in Rajasthan. Then Mitra Shakti, India and Sri Lanka, latest edition in the Karnataka, Belgaum. Okay. Next, Desert Cyclone. Next exercise is Desert Cyclone. It happens between India and UAE, where we found desert, that is UAE. So we will go enter the greater cyclone. So 2nd edition, it happened in Abu Dhabi. Okay, just now it is started. Then Equivarian, it is army exercise that between India and Maldives. Latest 14th edition happened in Thiruvananthapuram. Then next ECTA exercise, it is naval exercise between India and Maldives. So it is 8th edition, latest edition happened in Maldives. Okay. The next Yuddha Abhyas. Yuddha Abhyas, it is between India and USA. Okay, both sits together and do the Abhyas. Okay. Then next latest edition happened in the Alaska. Okay. Wainwright Fort, Alaska. There it is happened. The next Malabar exercise, it is a quad naval exercise, you can say. India, USA, Japan, Australian navies participate here. Okay. And Iranian ship, they sunk. It was returned from here only. Then it is annual quad naval exercise 25 edition happened in Guam. Okay, it is a US base in Pacific Ocean. Next, exercise Milan. It is a naval exercise. It is hosted by the India with 40 navies. Okay, sorry, Iranian ship was participating in exercise Milan. Okay, not a Malabar exercise. Okay, exercise Milan. India hosted and it nearly navies of 40 countries participate here. So it is a biennial. Okay, happens twice, once in a 2 years. So 26th edition happened in Visakhapatnam. So this Iranian ship was returning from there and the USS sunk it. Then exercise Zapad. It happens. It is Russian-led multinational exercise. Okay, they host it every 4 years. Then BRICS plus naval exercise. So BRICS plus countries. Okay, BRICS plus countries participate in this one. So 26th edition hosted by the South Africa. Then Conquest, military exercise between Mongolia, USA and other multiple countries participate here. So it is peacekeeping exercise and it latest happened in the Mongolia. So you can Conquest. Okay, Conquest. Who was the Khan? Mongol. Genghis Khan. Okay, he was the Mongol. He came from there. He was very violent. Okay, to alter this, what they are doing? Conquest. They are made it peacekeeping exercise. Okay, you can remember with this logic. Then Pacific Ridge XPR. Pacific Ridge XPR. It is 40 plus naval nation includes. Okay, it is naval submarine rescue operation basically. Pacific Ridge, India also participate here. Then exercise Ocean Sky. It is Air Force exercise. It is Spain hosted. Okay, India also participated. Spain hosted where it is Canary Islands. They hosted it. Then Steadfast Noon. Okay, it is a NATO exercise. Mostly NATO countries participate here. Then Talisman Sabre. It is Australia, US and other 19 nations participated. So it is largest edition was the 25 because 19 countries participated. Then Super Garuda Shield. Okay, India, USA and partner nations, they participated Super Garuda. Then Mission Justice. Mission Justice, it is the Chinese operation. Okay, Chinese People's Liberation Army conducted this one. Okay, it is high intensive exercise around the Taiwan Strait, because what is happening around the Taiwan Strait, that USA is supporting the Taiwan and Taiwan claiming its independence from the China. So China wants justice. So this Chinese Liberation Army, okay, People's Liberation Army conducted operation Mission Justice. Okay, near Taiwan Strait. Then Bright Star. Next is a Bright Star. Bright Star is a tri-service. It is hosted by the Egypt. India took participated. It is biennial, means happens once in twice. 19th edition happened in Egypt. Then Golden Dragon military exercise. It is between Cambodia and China. Okay, Golden Dragon. Okay, There is Cambodia. We know the largest temple they have, Hindu temple they have. So they have the gold and dragon. It is China. Then again, Bharat NCX that we have seen also. It is cyber security exercise. Then civil defense exercise Operation Abhyasa. Operation Abhyas that is conducted by India. It is about the preparedness exercise organized by Ministry of Home Affairs across the civil defense district. Okay, these two also we have seen in previous one. Okay, so with this we are finishing the national international exercise. Also we have finished we have seen the which missiles were in use. Okay, along that we have seen some radars. Okay, rocket launchers. Then we have seen the air defense system. In next part I will be teaching you the naval, okay, navy related, what are the ships, frigates, okay, aircraft carrier, all these things. And then we'll see what are the major operations, okay, that India is involved, or the major global operations, okay, there which shattered the world. Okay, that we are going to see for today. Thank you very much. I'm finishing discussion. We'll upload this file into our Telegram channel. The link for Telegram channel will be given into description session. Join the group and get access to this file and start your study. Thank you very much.